The afternoon sun baked the gravel drive of Harper Ranch, casting long shadows from the sunflower patches as I leaned against the gate, arms crossed. A woman in a neon pink blazer stood on the other side, her blonde bob sharp as her voice, heels sinking into the dirt. She clutched a clipboard like a shield, eyes wild with fury. "You have 5 seconds to open this gate, or I'm calling the cops," she shrieked. "I don't care if you're not in the HOA. We have the right to inspect every inch of this land." I kept my tone steady. "Ma'am, I've told you 10 times this is private property. I'm not part of your HOA, never signed a thing, never paid dues. This ranch has been Harper land since '63, long before your cookie-cutter houses sprouted up. You're trespassing, and my cameras are rolling. Unless you want to chat with the sheriff, turn around." Her face purpled. "I'm Victoria Steele, president of Crestwood Estates HOA," she howled, grabbing the iron bars and shaking them like she could rip them down. "I have authority. I'll bring the county down on you. You can't hide out here with your hay and dumb cows." When I didn't budge, she pulled out her phone. "This is MS. Steele, Crestwood HOA president. I need a gate removed from unauthorized land now. I'll oversee the demolition myself." 2 pickups roared up, one loaded with chains, the other carrying 3 guys in yellow vests. My jaw hit the dirt. Demolition? Was she serious? A worker started hooking a chain to my gate. I bolted to the house, not out of fear, but to grab my phone, camera, and just in case me shotgun. Let me rewind. 3 weeks ago, I'd moved back to my grandpa's ranch after 8 years in Denver, chained to a soul-sucking accounting job. Grandpa's will left me this place open fields, a creaky barn, peace. It needed work, but the moment my boots hit the gravel, I was home. The ranch sat a quarter-mile from Crestwood Estates, a gated maze of identical roofs and white mailboxes. My land was separate, zoned differently, with a big sign by the road. Harper Ranch, private, no HOA. Grandpa fought to keep it free from suburban sprawl, but Crestwood didn't get the memo. Trouble started my second week back. A flyer appeared on my mailbox. Crestwood HOA notice. All residents must comply with landscaping guidelines. Inspection scheduled. I tossed it. Days later, a black SUV parked in my drive. A woman mid-50s, fake smile, measuring tape in hand called out, "Just doing routine measurements." I asked why. "HOA records," she said, then faltered. "You're with Crestwood, right?" I shut her down. "This is Harper Ranch, private land. Check your maps." Her smile vanished, and she left without a word. That was Victoria. She came back with a welcome packet of bylaws and dues forms. Into the trash. Then a letter claimed my tractor and cows violated external storage rules. I ignored it. Next, she demanded I repaint my fence and move my herd away from Crestwood's trail. I kept ignoring her, but Victoria wasn't used to being dismissed. Her gate stunt pushed it too far. I'd installed solar cameras and a loudspeaker days before, so when she showed up with a demolition crew, I was ready. From the porch, I watched a worker chain my gate to his truck while Victoria barked, "Careful with the hinges. Don't dent my SUV." I hit the loudspeaker. "Step away from the gate. This is your only warning." She froze, confused. I stepped out, phone recording. "Homeowner here. What you're doing is illegal." Victoria sneered. "You don't own this. You're squatting on Crestwood's perimeter." "Show me the deed," I said. She didn't. "You're recorded, and if you touch that gate, I'm pressing charges." She screamed, "Do it anyway," and jumped on the truck's hood, waving like a madwoman. The driver hit the brakes, and she pointed past me, yelling, "We'll take this whole ranch." I turned, heart stopping. A sheriff's car, sirens flashing, pulled up. Sheriff Daniels, tall with a weathered face, stepped out, eyeing the chaos. "What's going on?" Victoria slid off the truck, smoothing her blazer. "Sheriff, this man's blocking Crestwood's access paths. As HOA president, I'm removing an illegal gate." Daniels raised a hand, stopping me from replying. He inspected the chain, the tire marks, then pulled a folder. "I just left the county office. This ranch belongs to Caleb Harper, deeded in '63. No easement, no HOA jurisdiction." He showed stamped documents. "I got 3 complaints from Mr. Harper about trespassing. This land's his." Victoria stammered. "I was informed by who?" Daniels pressed. She had no answer. "You trespassed, ordered property damage." That's criminal mischief, maybe a felony. He turned to me. Press charges. I looked at her, shaking in her heels, and thought of Grandpa's fights to keep this land. Not today, but if she comes back, I will. Daniels nodded. Leave MS. Steal. She fled to her SUV, workers trailing, dust clouding their retreat. For a few days, it was quiet. I fixed the chicken coop, patched a pipe, painted the barn Grandpa's favorite blue. I planted marigolds for Grandma Rose, their petals bright against the fence. Then, a soft knock. A lanky teen, maybe 16, stood there, nervous. I'm Ethan, from Crestwood. My mom's the HOA president. I tensed. Victoria's your son? He nodded, ashamed. I'm sorry for what she did. Since Dad left, she's obsessed with controlling Crestwood. She thinks your ranch hurts property values. I stayed quiet. She's not evil, just lost, he said. I offered lemonade, and we sat on the porch. He described Crestwood's rules. His skateboard ramp got a fine. A neighbor's daisies were non-compliant. It sounded like a prison. He left, and I thought it was over. Then, a note slid under my gate. You won the first battle, but we have lawyers and zoning friends. You can't hide forever. No signature, but Victoria's venom was clear. The next morning, I found orange flags staked in my backfield, near Crestwood's trail. Workers in vests marked my land for a perimeter fence, claiming HOA approval. I stormed over. This is my ranch. I have deeds. The crew leader shrugged. HOA says it's theirs. Victoria watched from her SUV, smirking. Zoning office redrew the boundaries, she said. Check with them. I drove to the county, where a clerk, Tom, showed me a new map stretching Crestwood's line into my field. Approved by interim director Clark, now retired, he said. Victoria's signature was on the application. Digging deeper, I found a forged letter with my name, donating land to Crestwood. I grabbed the papers and called Owen Reed, a lawyer friend from college. He scanned them. Obvious forgery. We'll challenge this, get a restraining order, and hit her hard. That night, my cameras caught Victoria cutting my fence at 3 a.m., humming like it was a game. I sent the clip to Owen. By morning, he'd filed a complaint and secured a restraining order barring her from my land. But Crestwood kept coming. A bulldozer rolled toward my pasture, with trucks and a Crestwood beautification banner. They claimed it was for a community garden on my land. I blasted the bullhorn. Trespassers, leave now? Sheriff's coming. The crew paused. Sheriff Daniels arrived, citing the restraining order. They left, but not before planting a stake. Crestwood, Lot 67. I snapped it in half, fury boiling. I took the story to Abby Lane, a local reporter. Her article, Rancher Fights HOA Land Grab, went viral. Neighbors emailed support. Some Crestwood residents apologized for Victoria's reign. Then Ethan dropped off a USB drive audio of Victoria's plots. I'll bleed Caleb dry with finds the code guys are mine. Owen called it checkmate. But Crestwood struck again, issuing $14,500 in fines for non-compliant structures and runoff. Code officers claimed my barn and fence violated new Crestwood rules. Owen saw it as a tactic to bankrupt me. Then, a county notice arrived. My land was up for rezoning as community use in 3 days. Victoria's allies were fast-tracking it. I launched a Save Harper Ranch Facebook page, posting the fence-cutting video, audio, and forged letter. It exploded. Farmers, veterans, even strangers pledged to attend the hearing. Crestwood's board distanced itself, claiming Victoria acted alone, but their new president, Lillian Hart, was her ally. At the hearing, Owen laid out the evidence: forgery, trespassing, conspiracy. I stood, voice steady. This ranch is my family's legacy. They forged my name, sent bulldozers, tried to erase us. I'm not asking for favors, just stop this theft. The crowd roared. Lillian's defense blaming Victoria crumbled under boos. The board denied the rezoning, voiding Crestwood's claims. Owen filed a $1.2 million suit against Victoria, Crestwood, and 3 zoning officers, backed by Ethan's testimony and leaked emails proving their scheme. In court, Victoria unraveled, her stress excuse dismissed. The judge ruled for me, awarding full damages. The countersuit from a zoning officer, claiming defamation, collapsed when emails showed his collusion. The county launched an ethics probe. Crestwood's board imploded. Lillian resigned. Residents demanded reform. I hired Ethan to feed the goats, giving him an escape. I bought 10 acres to buffer my land, and neighbors sent pies and signs. We stand with Caleb. Weeks later, a Crestwood SUV lingered, snapping photos of my barn. The fight wasn't over. But under the marigolds, coffee in hand, I watched the sunset. "They'll never take it," I said, Grandpa's whisper in the breeze. I kept the cameras on, the evidence ready. If your legacy was at stake, would you fight or let it slip away?